Okay, let them join. Okay. So today we'll be discussing about another important topic. So just window handles. Okay. So window, how do we handle the windows? Handling windows. So there are two methods that we use. First is like window handles, get window handles. Sorry, window handles. Another one is like get window handle. I'll put it this one first and we can discuss it. Okay. So every window will have some ID. Okay. So every window will have some IDs. Like this particular method will return one ID, current window ID. Okay. So for example, if we are trying to capture the ID of this particular window that we have opened. Okay. So its ID would be there. Okay. Current window. Let's say that current window. Let's call it as like parent window. Okay. So parent window. See, after this, on this parent window, we have some links or something kind of like an image or some kind of a button that we have. When we click on it, it's going to open other windows. Okay. So it can be windows or tabs. So this will capture, get window handles will capture the window IDs of the parent window as well as like the windows which are open as part of our parent window actions. Okay. So get window handle will return you only one element at a time. Get window handles and like the IDs of that particular window. Get window handles will return group of IDs. Okay. So the return type of this is like set. Okay. So it is set of strings. Okay. So this will return you the ID. Okay. It can be a string. So why does it exactly returns the string is set of string and this one returns the string is like this will return you the ID of that particular parent window, only one ID. So but here get windows will return you the set of strings. Set of strings. Why do we say set is like to eliminate the duplicate? Okay, to eliminate the duplicate. So why specifically we have this use this collection is like so list what it does is like it's going to have the duplicates also. And insertion order is preserved, but in case of set, insertion order is not preserved, and it's going to eliminate the duplicate. Okay, we'll look into this. What are these methods and all. To get the brief idea about this, we'll go to the documentation. I suggest you to go to the documentation every time. Okay, so whenever if you have anything doubts related to the APS as part of Selenium, go to the Selenium and simply type Selenium plus window handles. Okay, directly it will take you to this documentation and you can look into the documentation also. Okay, see window handles and tab, get window handles. So what is the method they are using? Get window handle. Okay, so switching windows or tabs. How do you switch windows or tabs? Now you can see. So this is the code for this. Okay, so first we get the window handles, we check for the size, then we are going to click on this particular new window, then it's going to open. So number of windows, that's something, but they have written some piece of code here. So this is what the code that we are going to use to switch to the other windows. So this is the method, switch to window. Okay, driver dot switch to window. So we'll look into this. How does this exactly work? And if you want to close it, we can close it. And next is like, we have some methods here which are defined. Okay. So how do we manage this window and how do we set the size, width, and everything is given here. Okay. So these are the, see, this will give a clear idea about it. How do we exactly work on the window handles, or what exactly that we can work as part of like window handles. Okay. So everything is like clearly given. But what we are trying to do is like we want to see the APIs of it. Okay. So API documentation. When we go to this API documentation, you can see how does this exactly work. We go back. So we have to use this window handle. Okay. Get window handle API. API documentation. Otherwise, directly you can use open org dot open QA. Okay. So let me just go back, guys. So, yeah. Okay, let's go to the Selenium documentations. Okay, so from there we can search it. Selenium. So we have many ways. I'm just showing like better way that we can use. Okay, so API documentation. So we can just go to this API package documentation. So Selenium. So you are trying to identify get window handle, and you can see get window handles. Okay. So what we are trying to do is like we want to have this get window WebDriver. Okay, it's a part of WebDriver. So now you can see that what is it returning? Returns an opaque handle to this say opaque handle to this window that uniquely identifies it within the driver instance. This can be used to switch to the windows at the later date. Okay. So what it does is like, see, what it does is like current window handle. It's going to return the current window handle. Okay. So this particular, if you use this method, so it's going to get you the current window. After that, you can switch to the other windows also. Okay. How do we switch it? And see, now this is like how do we switch it, that we'll discuss. Now you can see there is a get window handle method. So this window handle method will return with the set. Return type is like set. Return return is set of window handles which can be used to iterate all over open windows. Okay, all over open windows. Okay, we'll try to create a small program for this window handles. Okay, so here I'll give the package name as like Selenium window handles. So here within this, I'm going to create a class. Otherwise, handle example. Can we use this code? We already looked into it, right? So I'm just going to copy paste it. Save our time. Just I'm using this. Okay. So what's the type we are giving? Chrome, and we want to. Yesterday we discussed about the sites that we want to use, right? So I'm going to use. You can say this is the site that I'm going to use. Okay. So get window handle so that we can use like there is a tab window and multiple windows will be open. So that will help us to practice. So now what I'm going to do, once I get it, so I want to get the window handle of it. Okay. So string parent wnd equals to d dot get window handle. We have this methods. Okay, this is a part of WebDriver. So parent window. What it does is like it will return you the parent window. Okay. So go back to this and you can see there is a parent window. It is displaying. So I gave it as like yellow. So it is showing it in red color. Okay. So now we got this are the parent window. Okay. So I got the parent window. Okay. This is fine. Just I want to identify some web element and I want to just like, I'll click on that web element. Okay. So for that we have a method called get. Okay, so I think we did not write that method. So we can write a separate method for getting the element. Okay. So how do we get the web element here? So I'm just writing a small piece of code. Okay. So because we are using it multiple times, so we can write a program, write a piece of a code. That's nothing but method. Web element. So what is that I can expect here? So it is by comma WebDriver. Okay, so what it does return is like return a dot find element. Okay, so by so what it will return? It will return you the web element. Okay, again one another thing, if you want to wait for that element to be visible or something, that you can write a method comments. Okay, static void wait, and what is that you want to wait for? You want to wait for this web element. Okay, so web element comma, so you have a WebDriver. You have to pass two parameters here, so it's going to return you what is it going to return now? So it's going to return WebDriver wait is equals to new WebDriver wait e comma, and you can use the duration not of seconds. Okay, so you want to wait for that element to be loaded for this many seconds, and you can say that wait dot until the function that we have to say expected conditions dot visibility of element located by. Okay, so located by, so what we have to pass here is like, see, we have passed the element here, so we can pass what is that we can pass is like we can just pass this by, so that after getting it, so here what we are trying to do is like we want to return the web element. So by we have to pass it here. So what is it going to return now? It's going to return you the It's visibility of element located. Okay. Of all element, not all elements. Element located by. Visibility of element located by. Okay, so it's going to return this. So what you want to return here is like, so you'll call this wait, comma D. So when you see this, so what it does like it will come here when you call this get element. So you need to just call this. What is that that you are trying to identify here is like y dot xpath, and you can use the. So these are static. So you have to use the class name. Okay, so we need to y dot get element. So within this class, if we have this element defined, then it's not required. Only we need to pass this one. So what is that we want to identify? See, when we click on this, it's going to open, or else it is moving somewhere like see. When you click on it, it is opening a new tab. Okay, I want to get the, after clicking on this, I want to get the window handles. Okay, how do I get the window handles? Is like, just I want to click on this element. Okay, this is element which is located at this place. Okay, I can see. So we have button. In that we have a text. Okay, so we'll try to use this normalize space. Within that we want to give the text. Let me open same thing in, yeah, it's already open, right? So let me just try to identify. So if you want to open the developer tool, you have to just press F12. So it is button. Identify like this also, it will identify all of them. Like space button we have. Okay. So let's see that why this is not working. Let me just check with the other element also. Okay. So contents, I'm just taking text here. And this contents, I click right. I can see that only. There are many clicks, but we are going to identify the first one. Okay. To identify uniquely, we can take this one. And now I'm trying to identify this particular element. So what I need to pass, this is the element identifier. After that, what I need to do is like, I'll be using all windows. Okay. All windows is equals to, what is that I need to use now? I need to use d dot get window handles. So it will return you kind of error here. So because it's return you this set of elements. Okay. Now you say it is asking you to change it. So if I say string, so what it does is like it's going to throw this error. Now we have to change it to set of strings. Now I got set of strings, right? So set of strings, see, it's going to take set of strings. Now we'll try to get all the windows and then we'll print it. Okay. I mean, like window handles, those all windows. This IO window. Now this will print the parent window. Okay. So I'll just say this one as like parent window ID. Showing only parent window. So I did not click on it. Let me just rerun this code again. Okay, so I did not click on it. So it's like I'll just change this condition here. Dot element to be clickable. Okay, so wait for element to be clickable. So that's a web element button, right? So we'll wait for that element to be clickable. Still not clicking it. Wait just a second. So why is it not clicking? Is that it should? It should be clicking this. Okay, get element is like it will come here and it will go to this wait and it will try to wait for this element for the given duration and it will check for this expected condition. Okay, so it should element to be clickable. What is that it should accept? Okay, let's check it now. I've just taken like, wait for this element and it's like just I'm passing the parameter. I want to show you like it will click on that click button. I can put thread.slip, but I don't want to use it. I just want to use the concept that we have already talked about. So here this sites would require some implicit wait also. I'll just try to add the implicit wait here. Implicit wait. duration dot of seconds, 30 seconds. Okay. Somewhere in the frame that we have to check this one. It's not in the frame. Once I click it, you can see this will be opened. Okay. So that's what I'm trying now. So because I should not be using that particular thing. Again, I'm going to see if that is element properly identified or not. I'll go back and try to identify it here. So we are getting it, right? So this is the element which is available. So we are getting that element. That is fine. Just I'm using the condition, expected condition to be clickable. Okay, element to be clickable, and I'm passing. By that's nothing, but it will take this particular parameter. So WebDriver, and this is like a by, and I'm just using this expected condition. Let me check any other expected conditions are. So visibility of element is like it's like basic thing that we are going to use. Okay. So presence of element located by locator. Let's see that if it will wait for the presence of that element located. Okay. Oh, it is finding it, guys. The thing is like I did not click on it. See, you got that web element, right? So we are not clicking on it. Sorry for that. So you need to be careful. Element to be clickable. So it is finding that element. It is returning that element. We are not capturing that element back, right? So what we have to do now? So we have to use a web element, or else you can directly click on it. Okay? So web element. And here I'm going to take element is equals to. Otherwise, it would have written some kind of exception, right? Timeout exception. So it is finding that, but we are not clicking on this. Okay. So returning it, I did not look it actually. It's got like I'm just giving it. Okay. So here also we can write one other method for clicking. Okay. So likewise, we'll keep on writing these methods, guys. Okay. Because now it's kind of like we are building a framework. Okay. So click element. Okay. So if you want to click that a particular element, so what is that you need to pass is like, what you need to return is like, you would be returning the web element. Okay. Web element. So you need to perform that action on the web element, right? Element, and you'll be passing the web driver. If it is in a current driver, you have to pass this. If it is not a current driver, then we have to pass it. What do you want to do? Public static. Why do you don't do anything? You are not returning anything, clicking on that element. Okay. So how do we perform the click element actions now? So if you are returning this, okay. So here we are trying to return this. Okay. So here is a get element, getting this element now. And after that, I'm going to okay, sorry, it is like what it is accepting, it is accepting the web element. You can directly take by. Or click. It's comma or click action. Okay. Now you see directly I'm going to use this get element. Or like I can directly use this click element. Okay. So click element, what it does is like internally, it is calling this method. This method will call this method. Okay. It will return the web element. This will return the web element here. Okay. So after that, you are clicking on it. Now you see what happens. So I'm not performing any actions here, right? Select the web element on, I'm not using anything because down the line, what we do is like we'll be putting all these methods in a different classes. Here only the actions would be performed. So now it clicked on it, right? Now you see it clicked on it. Earlier I did not perform that click action. Now you can see these are the window handles. So this is like parent window and this is like parent window. Okay. So and this is the other window ID. The window ID which is related to this particular Selenium. Okay. Yeah, ma. So this is how it be handling. Okay. So now this is one thing. The other would be like I want to get other web elements. Okay. All windows. Now we are taking this. I'm going to capture the same all windows again. But this time we are clicking on a different element. Okay. So let me just go here. Oh, sorry. I clicked on this. Now I want to just click on this. So it will open a separate window. Okay. So I'll do these actions one after the other so that we can get multiple number of windows. So here, copy this. Control F. This is an anchor tag. Okay. So anchor tag and we got the text to it. So I'm just using XPath contents text and this is a text. Okay. So we got this text. I'll be clicking on this and after that I'll click on this button. Okay. Sorry for this. This is the first button I'll be clicking and second like click element by dot XPath. So this is first click and I'm going to click on this second click button. Okay, I'll just change the index of it. I can see we have this separate. When you click on this, it's going to click it's going to open the new one. Okay, let me just try to identify the same button. Button contents. For the second also. Okay, so let me try the third one also. If you change the index, what happens? Open separate tab. Okay, I'll just identify this one also. This is the text that we have. And clicking all of them. Okay. Do we get this or not? We'll see. Okay. So how this happens is like we have to come back to this. Okay. So come back to this and we can click on that particular button. But will it happen when I just come back to this and you want to click on this in this action? Let's see. Okay. So I'll separate this. I'll write it here. Click one. This is second click. Okay. Click button. Just talking about click button. Okay. So here after clicking this, it will move to the other element. Okay. So for that, what I will be using is like I'm going to use, I already identified this parent window, right? So what I'm going to do is like I'll be using driver dot switch to window. Okay. So switch to window and parent window. And we'll be clicking on that. Otherwise, if you don't do this action, it will not come to that particular element, right? So it will not again, see, we have to come back. When we click on this element, see what is happening now? When we click on this element, it is moving to the control is moving to the other element. Okay. So the other window. Okay. So again, I have to come back to this. Again, I have to click on this one. Again, I have to come back to this and I need to click on this. Okay. So what is happening now? It's kind of like the actions that we have to perform on the parent window. So for that, I'm using the switch to parent window. Okay. So this will be a like kind of faster, guys. Let's go and see what is happening. Okay. So we should get how many handles we have to get is like we need to get 6 to 7 handles. Okay. Or else 5 handles at least. It will be faster. See how many window handles that we got is like, see, all the windows are opened again. See, first is like it clicked on this. Okay. It clicked on this and it opened this one. It came here and it clicked on it. A separate window is opened here. Okay. After that, it came here and it clicked on it. These windows got opened. Okay. So we need to see how many windows that we got is like 5 windows. See, this is like again, this is a parent window. Okay. These are the child windows. 4 are child windows. Okay. I'll just put some sleep here so that you can see the execution slowly. Just putting 3000 after every click. I'll close the existing ones. So it clicked. We'll wait for 3 seconds, come back and click the second one. Come back for 3 seconds. After that, it will click and it will stop. Okay. So now you see, we want to click these 3 buttons, but every button is there on the parent window. To perform any actions on the parent window, we need to use switch to that window ID. Okay. Switch to window ID. This particular statement, what it does is like particular piece of code is like, it's going to switching back to the window. Okay. So this is nothing but I've clicked all of them. Now, finally, I'm getting all the windows here. Okay. So after that, I want to switch to the particular ID. For example, I want to switch to every window and I want to get the title of them. Okay. For that, what we have to do is like, we have to write a piece of code. That's nothing but see now. How I'm going to write. For, let me just check this one. For string windows, all windows, if it's not a parent window. Okay. So just is like it will return true, right? So if it is like not true, if it's not a parent window, then what we have to do is like we have to switch to window. Okay. So window, and after that, what I have to do is like I have to get the title of it. Okay. So what is the title? And finally, so if everything is like, all the windows, it is not. So finally, we are switching to the windows, right? So after completing this for loop, I'll be switching back to the main window. Okay. So read out switch to window. And finally, I will take in the parent window. And here I'm going to get the title of it. D dot get title. Okay. So it will be, now you can see that you'll get the title of this windows. So this we can, yeah, let's see that what happens. Oh, I need to close. It is switching back and finally it switched to the parent window and it got all the IDs. Now you can see. So these are the titles. Okay. First title is like Selenium. So that's nothing but it came here. So it got the window title. Okay. So which one it opened first? So it opened. When you click on this, you'll see which one is open. Selenium is open. We got the Selenium title. So when we click on this, it is opening the Selenium. We got the Selenium. Finally, we clicked on it and it is opening. So two windows are there. It's opening Selenium. After that, it's opening the index. And coming back to the same side windows, it's giving the title of this. Okay. See, we got three Seleniums, one index, and after that, it's got the parent window handle. Okay. Parent window titles that get title. So in the same way, I want to close it. Okay. So I want to close in the same way, whichever way I got the titles and all, I want to close it. So how do I close it now? See, if it is not a window handle, switch to that window. Then finally you have to use d dot close. Okay, so d dot close is nothing but it will close the windows. So finally I'll switch to the parent window. I'll stay there. Okay, so I'll stay there. Only I should get one window at a time. Like only one window should be open and rest of the windows should be closed. Okay, so if it is not a parent window, it will switch to that window and it will close it. Okay, now you see. Finally, we should have only one parent window. See, only one parent window is available. Now you can see. Okay, so all the windows are closed. Otherwise, you can just give the you can say that I'm closing this window. So which window that we are closing, I want to capture the ID of it. Okay, so I'll close everything. Okay, go back to this and you can see all the windows, closing window ID is showing all the closing window ID. What are the child window IDs? Now you can see, take this, it is like C105, right? So you can see C105. So these are closed. All of them are closed. So I want to close the final window also. So for that, what I'm going to do is like, I'm going to use a quit. Okay. So you can use quit or close, but quit would be closing if any of the windows are not closed, which are opened by this current driver. So everything is closed now. Okay. So everything is closed without any issue. So this is how, like, the first thing what I'm trying to do is like, I want to click on that particular button and I want to switch back to the parent window. Okay. To switching back, we can use like d dot switch to window. Okay. So it's like if we want to switch to that window or switch to some other window, that we can use this particular method. Okay. D dot switch to that method. So here is like, this will help you to get the and the window IDs of all the browsers. So here also what we are trying to do is like we are just trying to get the titles of it. Okay. So switching to them, and finally I'm getting the titles of it. So here what I'm trying to do is like here I'm going to close the windows. Okay. So this we can write it as like a separate methods also, guys. Okay. So here I'm going to write a separate method. Public. What is that I'm going to return is like, yes, I want to print it. In case like if you want to print it, then we can print it. Print window. It is. Can use this. Instead of writing this much code, that I'm directly writing it here. Okay. Here, what we have to get? We have to get all window handles. Okay. Yes, I'm going to write it here. So we get all window handles. We should get the parent window also. So here we'll print all the parent windows. Yeah, you see. Now what you want to do is like you want to just get the windows. After that, you want to print it, right? So directly we can write this method. Print method, it is not a static, so it is like first I want to print the window IDs. Okay. Print the windows. And I'll pass the driver. And after that, I want to get the titles of it. Is that we have here. It is also not a static, so it's not showing up there. What it is expecting? It is expecting nothing. So if you want this driver to be passed, you can pass the driver. It's not mandatory within the class we have. So we need not to do it, but I'm just using it. Okay. So I want to close all the windows. Here also I want to use now close all windows. You see, we have how clean the code is looking now. It's like this is how we'll be writing. Okay, window handles also. If you want to get the window handles and directly write a code for this, so simply you can write a method here. Public static. If you are not returning it, get window, parent window. I'll say that parent window. It here. So, okay, we'll return it because we are going to use it the other way, right? So, here, directly going to return this, right? I'm going to return it. So, which driver window you want to return? You want to specify. Okay. So, now you see what is that I want to get is like parent window. Okay. So, here I can pass it directly because this is kind of a parameter, right? So, I can pass it directly. Now you see, it looks the code looks very clean, right? So see now, with the first click that we are trying to, okay, we are clicking it here, and I want to just print the window. Okay, let me just remove this one. So now you can see. So it's first click, and this is second click. Okay, now you see it is looking in an organized way. Okay, so whichever method you want to use, you can use it. Now when I execute this, it will come here and it will click the button, first button. Okay, so which is available, and it will go here. So there's nothing but I'm switching to that parent window. Again, it's going to click on the second button. Here it will come and it will click on the third button. Okay, which is in the third tab. Okay, so how the execution would flow is like, first it will come here, it will click on this, it will click on this button. Again, switch back to this main window, click on this. Again, switch back to this main window. Again, it will click on it. Okay, so now you can see the execution. So for every action that I want to perform, I just created a method for that. We'll wait for 3 seconds, come back, switch it. The same actions which I did sequentially, right? So I'm putting them in a method. You know, everything has done properly. Okay, so don't worry about this connection close because this is like it is issue with the browser itself. So here we can use this d.quit. If you use the d.quit, what happens is like it will close all the browsers. So that is the reason why I'm not using this. Okay, let's use this and see what happens now. So if any browser is there, it will be closed. If you want to close only one browser at a time, we can use d.close. If you want to use all the browsers at a time, then you can use d.quit. Okay, you can see closing ID. Finally, it is showing that closing ID is like it is only closing one ID at a time. Okay, so that's the reason we have to do d.close. Now it will close all the windows. So that's nothing but it's closing one window, like whatever we have opened with that browser, right? It's closing all of them. So instead of doing that, we want to close browsers in a sequential way. Okay. Now you see the difference is like you got the difference, right? Okay. So this is how we'll be working on the windows. Now I need to switch to this window. Okay, I'll click on this. I want to click on some actions or I want to click on this downloads or something. Okay. I'll just go here and I want to search for something. Okay. Otherwise, we can click on this documentation. After that, I want to click on this documentation, or else I want to click on this ID or grid. Okay. So I want to see this. I want to get the text of this. Okay. How do we write this? So this is all about like, window handles. How do we switch to that window? How do we get the window IDs? And how do we work on those windows? Okay. So this is how we'll be working on it. So now I'm going to create another class which will help you to do some actions on the different windows. Okay. Switch to that window and perform some actions. Okay. That is very easy for us. Working on different windows. Child window. Otherwise, we can say that working on child window. So here I can use some code, right? Again, I'm going to reuse to save our time. So this is what I'll be using. Clicking on this. So which method we need? Click method. So from where I can get this method? This is the method. This is the class I can use it, right? So just I'll be using it as like, and other thing is like I need to get the driver also. From where I'm getting this driver? I'm getting this driver from this. Okay, so from this class, I'm passing it here. Okay. See now, this is like reusability. How are we using the reusability methods here? So we are reusing them. This is nothing but if we are making static, then we need not to create objects for that. Okay. So otherwise, what you can do is like we can use extends also. Okay. Extends, and which class you want to extend? This is a class that you want to extend. Okay. Directly you can call this. See. Clicking on this. Okay. So after that, what I want to do is like I want to switch to this. To switch to this, what I need to do is like I can use. So which method I can use now? So get element. Okay, get element. We are getting. We'll be using this one also because we need to get that element, right? And what is that you want to get is like we have used the title. If you want to switch to that particular window, then what I have to do is like I'll be using public static. If you have that element with you, like if you want to switch to that directly, you can use this. Because we need to have that web element, ID for that, right? So to identify some web elements on that particular window. Okay. So let me write a piece of code here. We're getting this set string all windows. Otherwise, I can write a piece of code here also. One method, one separate method. So just to switch to that, okay? So switch to that element and you want to break it. If you want to just switch to that particular window and come out of it. In that case, what we can do is like, we can write one method which will be helpful for us, okay? So switch to window. So switch to window. So we got this. And here I'm going to check for this. Okay. If it is not a parent. Okay. So here to get the parent window, what I need to do is like get parent window. So directly I can use it because this is returning a string, right? So I'll be using it here. If it is not a parent window, how do I check that one? Okay. So then switch to that. If it is not a parent window, then switch to that. Okay. So that's nothing but get parent window. What it is doing now, it is going to this method and it is doing the same stuff. Get window handle. Okay. So it's getting the parent window. So if it's not a parent window, switch to that window. And then after, if you want to do the action, then we can do the actions on that particular window. Okay. Now you see, I'll take this switch to window. I'm not going to write anything here because I'm using that method. Okay. So now what it is returning, it is like switching to that second, like child, whatever child that we have. Here we are opening only one window, right? So now you see, so when I just click on this button, it's going to open one window at a time, only one window. And I want to perform some actions on this window. Okay. Now I want to click on this documentation. Okay. So what it is under this span. Okay. Span, and it has the text. Text is equals to. Okay. So this is nothing but I want to click on this element. So for clicking this element, already we have written a method, right? So click element. What is that I have to pass is like by dot xpath, give me the xpath. So it will click on this element. Okay. After clicking on this element, what is happening now? It's going somewhere. Okay, I want to get that item of it. Okay, the documentation browser, whatever we have is like we have this ID. So inside that, so I cannot get this directly, right? So I want to get the TD content, or otherwise I want to get the inside this TD content, I want to get the header. Okay, for this, what I have to do? I have to identify div class. Class is equals to h1. Okay, so this is what I want to get the title or whatever the text that we have. Okay, so here I'll go, and again, what is that? What it is going to return is like it's going to return me the string. Okay, so here go and search for that. Get element is there. Okay, so we can use the get element. So get element is returning the web element. So here I'll take that. Otherwise, I can directly use get element by dot xpath. Okay, so dot get text of it. Okay, I'm getting the text from that, right? So I'm just want to return the I just want to get that string text equals to. Let's anyone see. First, what we are trying to do is here, guys. So switch to the window. Okay, so which is not a parent window. Okay, so it will switch and it will stop it. And after that switching, then I want to click on this documentation. What is that? What actions it's going to perform is like first it will come here. It will click this button. Okay, that click button will come here, and again it will wait for this documentation. If it is available, then it will click on this and it will get the text of this. Okay, so how are we getting it? It's like just we are using the web element, get a web element, and from that web element I'm going to use get text. Get text is nothing but this is the method which is available as part of web element. Okay, now I will print the text. Now let's go and execute this program. So I'm making it simple and writing the method so that I can use it. Okay, in real time also we are going to do the same things, guys. So I clicked on the documentation. Now you see the browser automation project should be the text text that should be printed here. Okay, so now you see the Selenium browser automation project. Selenium browser automation project. Okay, after this I want to close this. I want to switch back to this parent. For that, what I can do? I can use same method, right? I can use same method. So that's nothing but see, closing all browsers have written. So what I will do is like I'll just close all of them. I'll just write a method called switch to parent. Switch to parent window. So here I will not bit, only I will comment this line. Okay, comment or remove this. Now we'll be switching to this parent window. You'll close all the windows which are open and only you'll be switching to this parent window. Just write switch to parent window and you can give the driver. Now it should close. I'll close this. It should close the child window. It should do the actions and it should close the child window and come back to the parent window. Now you see it will click. It will go to the child window. Click on the documentation. Get the text of it. Close it. Okay. So it did not switch. It just close the parent window. Let me check what is that code that we have. On the parent window, switch to that and close. We dot switch to that window. Okay, let me use this get parent window directly here. Okay, set windows there also. I can use it. Switch to the parent window. So we are checking, we are getting all the window handles here. Okay, so then after we are trying to see that what is that current parent window, and then it will check and it will execute. Let me just execute this code again, guys. If it's not a parent window, it will switch and it will close it. If it's a parent window, it's like if it's a parent window, it will come back and it will just stop there. If something is like it is taking. Okay, not a parent window. It has to switch and it has to close it. 1 second, let me just check it, guys. So first, I want to identify how many elements are there. Like, what is that? What is the number of switch to this? If it's not a parent window, switch to this. Okay, it's switching and it is performing the action. That is fine. So which is happening here? Okay, so switching to that window and it is clicking on that button and getting the text and it's printing the text and switch back to the parent. Okay, switch to the parent again. So here it has to close it. Okay. Oh, from after switching, why it is closing this one is like after switching, this is treating as like a parent again. Okay, current window, right? So current window handles. We are getting like this one is like it is treating it as like a parent. So that is the reason why it is closing the other windows. So what we have to do here is like we have to pass this as like a window handles from here. Okay. So from here we have to pass it as like a window handles. So for this, what I'm going to do is like I'll just take this one. What is that we can pass is like strings all windows. Okay, first we have to identify this. Doing it here. First, I want to, after clicking, I want to get all the windows, right? So after first click, I'll be clicking on this. After this, we have switch to windows. So again, here also I need to pass this one. Switch to windows. Here also, you get to pass it. all windows. Just I'm passing all windows so that it can do the required actions here. Because say if we are switching, like what it is doing is like again considering that particular whichever window is like open and focusing, it's taking it as like a parent window, and rest of the windows it will be closing. Should not close that as a parent window. Let me check, guys. Why is it closing? So otherwise I can, because we are passing this, we are taking it from the different class, right? So even though we take it from the different class, switch to the parent for loop, we are okay. So if it is not a parent window, it will switch to that and it will close it. All windows, window we are getting. We are taking one window at a time and we are checking, like in all windows we are getting, and we are taking this one and one window at a time. If it is not a parent window, it will switch to that and it will close it. Okay, so this worked fine when we try to check here, right? So in this program, let me just open this one, run this program. See, it closed sequentially. It's working fine here. Okay. So here switch to the parent window. So it should come here and it should check for that window. If that window is not a parent window, it equals to whatever we are trying to get. Okay, let me just change the code. Okay. Okay. So this is not equals to the window that we are trying to handle. Then it should switch to that. It should close it. Okay, closing this window, and it should come to this particular window. That's nothing but parent. Switch to the parent. I'll try to do this action again. Okay. I'll get back to this. Get back to on this, guys. So need not to worry. Only thing is like it should switch to the parent window. That's like last thing that I want to do. Okay. So if you see this, now we are trying to perform some actions on that window, right? So it's directly going to that window and it is performing the action. So this is nothing but switching between the windows. Okay. So now you see it clicked on the window, it moved to the child window, then clicked on documentation. Now it is getting the text of it. Okay. The only simple thing is like I want to just close it. I want to come back to this main window. So that is the only thing that I have to work. Okay. I'll just check on this. Now you see we got this the Selenium browser automation project. Okay. So these are the things, guys. So just I've written some methods here. So to make it easy in terms of usage. Okay. Here you see how we are like we want to print the windows, get the titles of all the windows, closing all the windows. So these are like we'll in real time also we'll do the same thing. Okay. And clicking, see now you see that click element. It's going to click that element. From where it is going to go, now it is going to this get element. Get element will be waiting for that particular element. It's nothing but if after coming this, it will return you back these things. Okay. And it will perform the click action. So these are like we are going to make it as like page object model. Only the simple thing is like we'll just cut these things. Okay. So now you see how do we exactly do it as a page object model approaches like now see here in this classes just we'll write what is that string. What is that element that you want to click is like you want to click on this particular this open this click, right? Open new tabs. So just we'll write string open Open one tab. I'll write open one tab. Pause it now. That's all. Now see, page object model is like the object is here and we have a page and the actions that we are performing. So all of them, if you put in a separate class, that is nothing but page object model approach. Okay, page object model pattern. So we'll try to design that one, guys. Okay, so down the line, we'll try to design this, but make sure that you practice these things. These are very important because whenever we are working in real time, so this will be like, you can see only click. If these functions will be there. Okay, so when you see this is like again internally it is calling the other element, other method. So this method, what it does is like it will go and wait for that element. Okay, waiting nothing but again you see it's like everything is like a kind of a chaining. In real time also we do the same thing. Okay, so we'll try to write the functions for this because I don't want to use like web element is equals to element, then wait for that element. All this code is not used. Okay, see for one line this is okay, but if you are trying to do for the number of, we have hundreds of web elements would be there. We don't write that unnecessary code, right? So what we do is like we are going to write a method. That method would be helpful for just, performing the actions on this. So here we are performing the actions on it. Like, internally what it is doing is like it is going and getting the element and waiting for that element. After that, it's clicking. All three actions will be done in a single line. Okay, all three actions will be done in a single line. Otherwise, what you have to do is like you have to first identify the element. Okay, so identify the element, web element is equals to by dot some XPath. Then after what you do is like WebDriver wait is equals to wait for that element. After that, element dot click. So all these actions are performed in a single line. Now you see, when I internally go here, it will come here and again it will come here and it will come here and it will return the web element. Again, it will come back. Okay. So after returning this, it will get this one. So after getting this one, so we are going to click the actions. Like once we return this element, it's going to perform the action like get dot click on it. Get element dot click. Okay. So see, now this will be used for hundreds of elements, not only one element. Okay. So it will be used for hundreds of elements. Just you need to do is like click dot by dot XPath and driver. Just give that and it will automatically wait for identify that element, wait for that element. Then after it will perform the click actions. Likewise, if you want to, here we are clicking it. If you want to enter the text, so it is similar. Okay. So if you want to enter some text, you'll get it. And if you want to enter, then just simply you have to give like send keys. Okay, instead of click, you have to give the send keys. For example, I'll write it here. I've seen. So I'll be writing enter text. So here what you do is like dot send keys and you will be entering the text, whatever text you want to enter. Okay. So here we'll write text. That's it. See now, it will also do the same thing. It will identify the element, wait for that. It will just go and wait for the element, identify the element, then it will enter the text. Okay. If you want to enter the text, you can use the enter text. For example, if you want to back to this. So here we want to enter some text. Okay. So it will click on this. You want to enter, or else we have something here in terms of some. Okay, we have search. When I click on it, so it will open this particular window. There we are going to enter the text. Okay. So now you see, we comment this. Again, we have to change the code. Okay. So because here we are clicking on documentation. Okay. After that, we can go back also. So how do we go back? After getting the text, navigate. Okay, navigate back. So after this, I'm going to click on that element. What is that click on element? Y.xpath. So I'll be entering this data here. Okay. So clicking after that, I want to enter data. Enter y.xpath. So what is that I want to enter? This is what again I have to identify this. Okay. So here I need to enter the data, right? So input, and we have something here, document search. Okay. Control F, again identify this element. So it is input type, and at that class our ID is equals to. So it is identifying. Here I need to enter the data. What is the data that I want to enter is like text here. I'm going to give Selenium window handles. Now we see what are the sequence of actions that we are performing here. First, we are going to the main window, clicking on the button, going to the child window, clicking on documentation, getting the text, coming back to this homepage or kind of thing. Then after I'm sending this Selenium window handle. See. Selenium window handle. So everything is working as expected. See what happened now. See, enter text is like enter text. We'll go here. We'll call this element. We'll wait for that element. We'll return that element back again. We'll come here. It will enter the text and it will come through. Okay. So let's go and try to execute it again. See, it is faster, guys. Okay. So Selenium is like very fast. See now, all the sequence of actions that we have written are performed well. Okay. So this is nothing but see, it clicked on it, it opened, and it will enter the data here. And if you want to select, get the list of them, how do we get the list of elements here? So whatever we are getting here, I want to get the list of them, list of this particular searches. Okay. We have this listing. Document his search, everything is like available here. I want to get the text of this all. Okay. So how do I get it now? So likewise, we'll be continuously going to this particular things and we'll be getting all this. Okay. So whatever we need, whatever actions that we want to perform, we'll be doing all this actions here. Okay. So list box we have. So within this list box, I want to get. Where is that? That ID is equals to. Just role. Okay. So it is a role. I want to get all the LIs. Okay. So we have this many like 5 LS. I want to get it and I'll just iterate it and I'm going to get them. Okay. So what is that I'm taking is like I'm taking the list of elements. Okay. There are like I'm using the find element. If I'm using find element, I want to get the list of web elements which are there. Okay. All elements. I'm going to say all elements. Find y.xpath. Okay, so these things also we can write. Now I want to get all the list of web elements along with it, like text of it. What is the text that we have here? Okay, so these are the text that we have, right? So we want to get the text of it. So how do we get it? So we can write method for this also. Okay, so just write a method inside this window handle class itself. Okay, public. What is that I want to get is like, I want to get the, otherwise I'll return everything. Okay, so this should print the data. Get text of all elements. Here, what is that I need to pass? By and the thread driver. Okay, sorry guys, I'm just taking a couple of minutes and I'll stop it. Okay, so here I'll just cut it and I'm going to use by. I need to import util package. Okay, from here, what I need to do is like, I'll get the web element. Okay, so web element, all element out, system.out. Get text. Okay. So this is the method I need to call here. This is static. So that is the reason why it is not showing up there. Okay. Static, get all elements. I need to pass that particular. Now you see. I'll close this. I should get all this. Okay. So whatever we have, it should be printed here. Now you see, we are getting right the Selenium browser automation, and question is like, what is that? What is the text that we have inside this? Okay, everything is like printing here. When you click on it, it will just open a particular. If you want to click on that particular web element also, that is also quite possible. Now we are getting it right, so we are getting the text. If you want to click on it, so it is also just we have to and dot click on element. If you want to click on it, then you can just click on the first element and then we can break it. Hello. Okay, what is that you want to pass? You want to pass this. Okay, we are performing these actions in different window, child window. Okay. So how do we do? See, for example, if somebody asks you an interview, how do we see now it clicked on it? Clicked on the first option. Okay. So it is showing up all this thing, frequently asked questions. So what is happening now? So we are just switching on to that particular web page and we are trying to perform this action. I'll do the same actions again. See. Okay. So go back. And what is that I want to search is like, I want to search Selenium. Window handles. Okay. So what is that I have entered? This is the text that I have entered. Okay. So now you see it clicked on first one. So when I click on it, you got this right, frequent questions or whatever we are looking for. Okay. So these are the sequence of actions guys that I did. Okay. So finally we can put this and we can close it, but I need to check why this is closing the parent window. I may be supplying the wrong one. Okay. So This is the reason why it is not closing that particular child window. Okay. Okay, guys, please practice. I'm going to upload this. Whatever this we have discussed, right? These classes, I'll upload, and please let me know if you have any doubts. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Thanks. Thanks for your time.